not as amazing as it must be in Cape Town. Talk to me, Fahiem, about this amazing lineup at the Baxter.
Well, we always plan our festive seasons program very carefully. Cape Town is full of Joe Burgers down here visiting, and we are being very nice to them. Of course, there are also other travelers from all over the world. So our lineup this year is comedy, and more comedy, which we're very excited about. We've got some of the funniest men in this country on our stages. There's Joe Barber. The Joe Barber guys have been going for 15 years. So they're celebrating a production at the Baxter. I know, can you imagine that 15 years of celebrating Cape Town culture, and they've been going as strong today as they are then. People are enjoying and responding to the production very positively. They are celebrating 15 years, as I said, with this production called Joe Barber Live. It's traveled all over the country. It's been tweaked and sort of updated for the Cape Town run. That's on in our main theatre. And then, of course, one of Cape Town's very famous faces, Mark Lottering, is on in our studio. This is Captain Lottering speaking, and I'm very pleased to say it's a wonderful production that Mark Lottering has put together. Both these productions were on at the Baxter earlier in this year, Sam, and the idea was to kind of create information, create food for thought, create content for shows. And now that they've come back for the festive season, it's polished, it's wonderful. It is really slick, and Cape Townians and certainly travellers, people loving the Cape Town culture, will enjoy both those productions. And then, of course, in our little studio upstairs, we've got the wonderful Rob van Vuuren in WhatWhat. It is an intelligent, the Bailey Guardian called him comic genius, and quite rightly so. It's intelligent, it's funny, it's physical theatre, it's a great sense of humour, really, really enjoyable stuff.
Fahiem, it's heavyweights in the comedy scene, but I think it's quite obvious, comedies where people are at this festive season, they want to laugh, they want to have a good time. Was that the primary kind of reason for making sure that you had so many comedy acts at the Baxter this December?
We usually kind of like to mix it around with one music show as well, but I think what had happened was that both the two big shows, as I said, Mark Lottering and Joe Barber, sort of tried themselves these shows out there early on in the year, and we thought, let's try it and see what sort of response we're going to get. And certainly people, as you know, this time of the year, they do like to laugh, they do like to have comedy. What we've done is that we've then focused quite intensely on our children's show. We have a kiddie show that runs in the morning at 10 to 12 as well, which is called My Forever Friend. And that production, for example, was developed more in a way that involves teaching kids to love themselves, teaching kids about self-esteem, so that we were able to kind of present 3 comedies for people just to have fun. Our New Year's Eve productions are always a sellout. We have a big New Year's Eve party, and these productions just seem to fit very nicely with our lineup for the end of the year this year.
The Baxter is an institution worldwide. I know it's going to be a very difficult one to answer, but choose the highlight of 2014 at the Baxter for me.
For me, the highlight this year has got to be our production of Fishes of Hope. It's a production which was written and directed by our CEO and artistic director, Rara Foot. I had a particular sort of association with the production. I felt it was meditative. We have highlights all through the year. Earlier in the year, we had Death of a Colonialist, which certainly proved to be a highlight. And I'm really very proud. I think I'm in a very fortunate position to say that I'm always very proud of our lineup, because we mix very well, from all the different genres, all the different styles, all the different types of theatre that there is available. There's dance, there's opera, there's music. So we try and kind of mix it around a little bit. And this is why sort of now at the end of the year, some comedy thrown in, just 3 comedies is certainly one worthwhile. We're looking very forward to our first quarter of next year. We've just launched our Baxter's Diary, which shows the productions that's coming on January, February, March, April next year. The diary is available from the Baxter Theatre. It can also be found on our website from Monday onwards. But the idea is that I think what works for us is careful planning, and certainly to mix around the different genres and the different types of theatre that is accessible to audiences.
Fahiem, thank you very much for joining us from our Sea Point studios. That, of course, is the Baxter Theatre's marketing manager, Fahiem Stellenboom, and I do agree with you. You're in a very fortunate position. Great job.